get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet.
All the way past cool. What is good, YouTube family? It is your boy, I am Whittlefoot, and I'm going to be basically giving you a overview that I got about this Karmelo Anthony case. I didn't really jump into it because there's a lot of information to go into, and I just wanted to touch the topic, graze the topic because I'm gonna show you the comments, man. I'm gonna show you the comments. I made a post to support the young man, because I felt like a lot of black folks always have a lot of injustice going on, and I just shared the post, Then somebody, random person, had felt the nerve to comment underneath the post, and we had a little conversation. I don't really feel like going back and forth with the person, but I did for the most part, and I'll post the comments, or I'll post, whatever, the comments or the chat. But, I'll post the comments anyway. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to read the overview for you. Stay tuned. Okay, without any further ado, let me just get into this overview. All right, Karmelo Anthony, a 17-year-old suspect, is the name associated with a fatal stabbing at Frisco, Texas high school track meet. The incident, which occurred on April 2nd, resulted in the death of Austin McDowell. Anthony was initially held on a $1 million bond, but was later released with a reduced bond of $250,000 and restrictions, including supervised house arrest and an ankle monitor. Here are some more details to break it down for you. So the incident, basically, because I don't know too much about it, the incident is, during a track meet, a dispute arose between Anthony and a Austin McDaff, I think that's his last name, who are from different schools. Then a fatal stabbing had occurred. Witnesses say McDaff asked Anthony to move from his school's tent, and Anthony responded by telling McDaff, "Touch me and see what happens." According to a YouTube video, McDaff then allegedly grabbed Anthony, after which the stabbing occurred, resulting in McDaff's death. There you go right there, self-defense. You shouldn't grab him. Anyway, let's keep going. All right, Anthony's arrest and bond. Anthony was arrested and initially held on $1 million bond. That is so crazy, bro. They did that initially to keep him from going anywhere, to keep him in there, so he can fold in the pressure. You feel what I'm saying? Like a pressure cooker. Let's keep going. Okay, the bond was reduced and had added restrictions. A judge reduced the bond to $250,000 and imposed restrictions, including house arrest and an ankle monitor, and limitations on social media use and contact with the victim's family, according to a YouTube video. Now, this is what they feel like the motives are. The motives were, well, some reports suggest that stabbing may have been in self-defense. Others indicate that the incident stemmed from a disagreement over space at the track meet. Now, that right there is controversial in itself because it's always about, all right, who's right? Am I right? Are you wrong? Are you wrong? Am I right? You feel what I'm saying? That's controversial. You feel what I'm saying? But this is all based on what happened from what people who were there are saying. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to go by the witnesses, which I always love doing, is getting actual factuals from people who were really there, right? Let's keep going. All right, this is how the community was impacted. The community was impacted. The case has raised tensions in the community and is sparking public discussions about violence and safety at school events. Now, this leads you to think about how safe is your kid in school? Is your kid really safe in school? Can you really send your kid from home and get to school on time? Can you actually trust the individuals that are trusted to supervise your child and be there to attend to your child and be and be a guidance and be a counselor of some sort in your kid's stead in your stead when you're not there? So can we really trust that our kids are in safe hands? Can we really trust that our kids are going to be able to come back home at the end of the day? Well, we don't know. We have to really look into society and check some things, and everybody needs to start holding each other accountable for things that happen, and we need to start getting to the bottom of things and telling the truth.
Crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so I'm I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So, dude walks up, McKellen, bro. He wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever. They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. He had a. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bruh. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro.
There you have it, a personal account.
Year-old Karmelo Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing another student at a track meet in Frisco. Anthony claims he acted in self-defense. Chris Sadeghi live from the courthouse in McKinney. And Chris, the judge heard from Anthony's family this morning before making her decision.
Yeah, Kara, this hearing just wrapped up about 30 minutes ago. In it, we heard from Karmelo Anthony's father. He testified about his son, and in the end, the judge did decide to lower the bond from $1 million to $250,000. Karmelo Anthony entered the courtroom handcuffed, wearing a yellow inmate jumpsuit. He spoke only to identify himself to the judge and stared straight forward while his father, Andrew Anthony, testified about how his son is the oldest of 4 siblings, a straight-A student, active in his church, and worked 2 jobs while serving as captain of the football and track team. To this point, he's not had any criminal history. All factors his defense brought up when asking the judge to lower the bond. The amount they were asking for was $150,000. The prosecution, though, argued the bond should have stayed at $1 million, even asking Andrew Anthony about the online fundraiser that's raised $412,000 for his son's defense. Ultimately, though, the judge said the purpose of bond is not a punishment, but to ensure the defendant returns for his court dates and to protect the community. If Anthony does post the $250,000 bond, he will be on house arrest, confined to his home with a leg monitor, and cannot leave unless the court grants permission. Asked by Judge Angela Tucker if he understood the terms of the bond, Karmelo Anthony simply said yes. Austin Metcalf's family, the victim's family, was in the courtroom. It was a packed courtroom, not a seat to be had, and the judge did acknowledge the amount of scrutiny on this case, not only from the media, but the general public, pointing out that she's presided over many murder trials involving many different races, and that she has never seen the amount of security precautions having to be taken by deputies as what they're seeing in this case.
So I just want to take this minute to give a moment of silence for Austin. God bless his soul, and my condolences to his family and everybody involved. You know, it's really a tragedy to lose a child. You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, and this kid, Karmelo Anthony, I can just imagine what he's going through. You know, being so young, and this the other kid too. I guess the brother of the kid who's unalived. You know, respect and God bless all of them, man. Peace out, y'all.